we have former Stanford wide receiver and current Dallas Cowboy wide receiver, the very sexy Simi Fehoko, with some of the best hair in the business. Extremely jealous of it, and we'll get to that here in a second. But Simi, allow me to be maybe the first or one of the first people to just say happy National Margarita Day to you. And I hope you've had an awesome day, and I would love to know the way you prefer your margarita.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Oh, you can hear me.
There we go. Now,
boom.
There
So
we
you should
go.
see the red light.
Red light means go. All right.
That's the magic.
Okay. Actually, I don't drink at all, so I didn't have any margaritas.
Good for you.
But if I did, I'd have, a virgin pina colada or margarita. I don't even know what that is. See, I don't drink, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah.
So do you do that whenever you go on vacation? Do you get some virgin beverages?
I just normally stick with Dr. Pepper or Sprite.
Yeah,
that's the go-to. But other than that, water. Actually, I lied. I don't drink water. Powerade, Gatorade, things like that.
Okay.
Things with sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I totally get it. All right, Cowboys wide receiver Simi Fehoko, the virgin drinking Simi Fehoko, up in here in studio here with the nosebleed seats. Now, congratulations on your first NFL season. What was the experience like for you? How different was it than maybe you imagined going in?
Right. No, that's a great question. Obviously, with me, it was a blast. It was everything I hoped for in terms of being in the league and things like that. The only thing that I didn't really expect was how time consuming it was. Like waking up at 5:30. Obviously, rookies had to do early morning lift to separate it out and stuff. So rookies kind of got the short end and had to be earlier lift times and things like that. But it was a whole job, and I mean it was fun. I mean I enjoyed every moment of it, and obviously it was cool to just be in the same locker room as some of these guys that you grew up playing Madden with, like Coop, Zeke, things like that. That was crazy for me.
Well, I was actually going to ask you specifically about a guy like Amari, because he's well renowned for being one of the best receivers in the sport.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to his route running, stuff like that. Like, what was it like seeing him every day in practice firsthand, and how much were you able to soak in from him and just that whole experience?
Yeah. Coop is my guy. I mean, he was the first one sort of as the top guy to take me under his wing. And, obviously us being a little bigger, he's 220, normally, and I came in at like 225, 227. It was one of those guys that took me under his wing and, helped me out and, on one-on-one routes or any routes in general, just on routes on air. He was like, okay, sink your hips here, or as a DB, I see this and you would do this like differently. And it was sort of one of those things that I was like, okay, everything he says, like whatever you say, you're right. I got you. Like, I'll just follow you anywhere you tell me to do. So, I mean, obviously it was awesome for me to, have him as a mentor. And obviously I continually, hopefully, have him as a mentor.
So we hear about like speed of the game as a transition. Oh my gosh, it's just way faster at the NFL level. But was there anything else for you outside of just the time and maybe the preparation that stood out to you? Wow, this is more of a challenging transition than I expected.
Yeah, I would say obviously playbook. I mean, obviously at Stanford we had a fairly complex playbook,
sure.
But coming here it's more like it was more concept driven rather than just, hey, we're going to call a play for a dude to go deep. Like for me in college, like, hey, we're going to call you, you're going deep. This is just your play. In here is more like, okay, this is the whole concept. And if you happen to, get the read that we're looking for, then that's where we're going. So it was more conceptual learning rather than, just specific, player oriented calls.
Cowboys wide receiver Simi Fehoko with us here live in studio on your home of the Cowboys, 105.3 The Fan. And you can watch us on the fan cam as well, twitch.tv/DallasFanCam. Did you end up having a welcome to the NFL rookie type of moment?
I would say probably in camp. First day or second day in camp, lined up one-on-one against Trey Diggs, ran a fade, and he just full on, OBJ one hand intercepted, and then I was like, wow, he's the man. Like, welcome to the NFL.
Well,
like,
maybe we should credit you for the 11 interception season that he just had.
Hey, man,
that got it going.
Hey, sure, I'll take some, but
yeah.
No, it's good. No, he's a freak, man. He's a freak in nature, and he works day in, day out. It's crazy.
So Diggs seems like, and we got to see a little bit of this on Hard Knocks, seems like he's a talker.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the biggest talker on the team? And do you talk? Or do you like to get involved out there verbally? Talk a little trash?
I try not to. I do like talking a little bit when it comes to games and stuff like that. Maybe if it, they get under my skin, but I'd say like the biggest talker on the defense is definitely either Micah or JK. But I would for sure say Micah.
Mike is the talker, huh?
Man
I believe
will
that.
talk your ear off.
That's great. That's great. So speaking of Mike and some of the other rookies, was there anybody that you kind of latched onto where, hey, we're going into the league together, like we're kind of in this thing together a little bit?
Yeah. I'd say, before I got here, I reached out to Jabril Cox. Obviously, he's half Samoan, so I'm Pauly as well, so I'm half Tongan. So it was cool for me to reach out to him, and we were able to talk a little bit. He played with my cousin over at LSU, so it was sort of like it was pretty. It was organic. It's pretty cool. So I mean, me and Jabril are homies too. So
you mentioned you guys as rookies had to get in earlier to do your workouts in order to have enough space in there, or whatnot. Any other ways where the rookie gets the short end of the stick? Are you carrying in pads? Are you bringing breakfast on any given day, or what's some of that quote unquote rookie hazing?
Yeah, I mean, luckily for me, the receiver room was pretty cool. Obviously with older dudes, and obviously our wide receiver too was. CD, who was a rookie the year before, he obviously wasn't too fond of, rookie hazing, given he was just coming off his rookie year. But, I mean, it was cool. Other than, having to buy candy and supply the room with, like, Doritos or something like that during meetings, like, that was really all I had to do. They didn't really, make me, take their pads in or anything like that, which was cool. I mean, I thought it was cool. And, I mean, I like candy anyway, so I supplied them with candy during camp and all throughout the year. So, I mean, it wasn't bad.
Oh, what about any rookie dinner? We hear about legendary rookie dinners that take place. How did that affect your pocketbook?
Dez wasn't around for this one because he rang up the bill quite a bit, we've heard.
Well, yeah, I'm lucky. Luckily, we went to Nick and Sam's, and they sectioned it out, and basically wherever you were drafted, you had to pay a certain amount of money. So obviously, Micah paid a lot more than me, so it was good. So I mean, it wasn't too bad, and I mean, obviously, it was fun, and I enjoyed it.
Simi Fehoko with us here on 105 through the Fan. So we've actually had several local prospects that are getting ready for the NFL draft. We've had them on, we're pumping them up, and some ended up going to the Senior Bowl, and they're getting ready for the Combine. What was the draft experience like for you? I mean, you seem like you tested out of the charts, running a 4.37. I know when you were drafted by the Cowboys, there were a lot of articles written that Cowboys might have gotten one of the steals of the draft in you. Was there anything crazy that went down during that draft process? We hear about some weird questions that maybe get asked. What was that like for you?
It was interesting. You do get those random questions, like you'll be in the middle of talking about football, all of a sudden they'll just be like, so if you were an animal, you'd be a cat or a dog. And you're like, man, what? I'm over here explaining, what I saw against UCLA, breaking down my film to you, and now you're asking me if I'm a cat or a dog, which, obviously people weren't happy when I said I'm a cat, but, it is what it is.
Like a jungle cat, though, right? Like a lion, sort of, or?
I mean, they didn't really specify on the question, but, yeah, it was funny, and I mean, things like that where you get, I think they're trying to catch you off guard and just see how you react and things like that. So, it was interesting. It was obviously interesting doing it at home too. I obviously trained out in Irvine for a little bit, and then came home for a little bit to train a little bit more as well, right before or after the draft, just to figure out everything. So, but it was interesting. Obviously, doing all that stuff and juggling all the times when coaches are trying to set up schedules and things like that. It was a lot to juggle.
So what advice would you have for some of the draft prospects that are going through the motions now, currently getting ready for the draft?
That's a great question. I'd say biggest thing for drafts that are, or potential draft picks this year is just take it day by day, and obviously, don't take anything, more, I guess important than another, just because, you never know who or where you're going to land, or what team. You might think that, someone's going to pick you up, and then all of a sudden, like for me, I didn't even think that Dallas was an option for me.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you not have a lot of contact at all with the Cowboys leading up to it?
I'd say the week before the draft, I had a phone call with Coach Adam Henry, and it was just, fairly, get to know you and stuff like that. After I hung up, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's good, but, I don't think I'm gonna end up here. I think there's, other places that had contacted me more frequently and more often. And I mean, that was just something that I just sort of was, all right, cool, like Dallas. So then when the phone rang and it said Dallas, I was like, man, somebody's prank calling me. So I answered it. I was like, hold on, wait a second. This is Charlotte Jones. Hold on, this is Jerry Jones. So then it hit me. Super cool.
Wow, that's outstanding. It's Cowboys wide receiver Simi Fehoko with us here in the Nosebleed seats. Now, at the end of the season, you do some goodbye meetings, perhaps with the coaches. Anything in particular they said, hey, off-season, objective number one, Simi, let's go get better at this?
Yeah, I mean, we did have the meetings and things like that. I think with all the things changing and everything, obviously I'll have a bigger role, I'd say, in the offense and special teams. I mean, talking with head coach McCarthy, he was talking and saying, potentially this year, you gain a little bit more weight and you be used more as like a hybrid tight end receiver type body, which I have no problem doing. Obviously, I played at a lot heavier weight in college, so then they made me lose weight here. So obviously gaining weight and playing at a higher weight won't be a problem. So
Stanford, I mean, that is a very run-heavy offense. So is blocking something that you're comfortable doing? Do you take pride in being a good blocking receiver?
Absolutely. I have no problem doing it. And we've had dudes in the past that just, get their nose dirty, and that's their job, So obviously that's something I feel like I can fill a role as, and I feel like I can take over as that part.
I will say one thing that I noticed when I was studying you coming out of last year's draft was your ability to make plays in tight coverage, contested balls in the air. Is that something that you've just always had that gift, or was that something you worked on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously in the backyard with my little brother, just playing, messing around, and my dad throws it up, playing pop fly or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's something that I sort of loved, and obviously being a bigger frame, bigger body receiver, it sort of came a little more naturally. DB's not normally like Trey, a little taller,
Sure.
They can jump out the gym, but they're a little smaller, and obviously something that bigger bodies thrive on is contested catches.
So not to call anybody out, but like when you're lining up against, say, a Jordan Lewis, who's a smaller corner, are you licking your chops a little bit?
I like it. I like it a little better. I like my matchup a little better. He's obviously a dude too.
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean,
Jordan Lewis is a dog.
He is a dog, and he will let you know too. So that's another one that likes to talk as well. I love that dude. So he's great to compete against, and I mean, it's obviously a better matchup for me, and being a bigger body receiver, throwing it up higher. But yeah, I mean, things like that is where I like to thrive.
So we've all been kind of scratching our heads at the way the season played out for the Cowboys, specifically offensively. And I'm curious from your perspective, where you come out of the gates, the offense is on fire the first half of the season. You're like, oh my gosh, the NFL is amazing. We're scoring points left and right. And then the offense the second half of the season did not quite feel nor look nor produce the same. From your vantage point, what do you feel like was the reason behind that?
Man, I'm not quite sure what to say to that, because obviously like you said, I saw that we came out the gates flying, putting up 400 yards a game, and obviously first game of the season against the Bucks, Coop's putting up 100 something, three. Like, I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy, and this is what we prided ourselves on as the Dallas offense, was being able to be like the #1 offense in the NFL, and obviously put up points and yards. So obviously I don't have really the answer to the second half of this season. I mean, people have thrown around things like injuries and just a slump, things like that. But for me, I just felt like we went in every single day and worked our hardest, and sometimes obviously things didn't play out the way we wanted.
We do have a question here from a Mansfield native and Saints cornerback Paulson Adebo. He wants to know why you can't beat him in ping pong or pickleball.
Okay. All right, see, and that's how I know he's lying. So I'm just gonna disregard that question from Paulson. He knows that I have his number. Obviously I learned how to play ping pong in Korea, so he learned from me basically. I'm his sensei, you could say. So yeah, that's my guy though.
Okay.
Sensei Fehoko, I like that.
Yeah, Sensei Fehoko. All right, this is amazing. So you went on a mission trip to Korea.
Yes, sir.
What was that like? Please give us some of the highlights of that trip, and can you speak fluent Korean now after that?
Yes, I can. Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I went on a LDS Mormon. Those the two people that are wearing ties. Riding on bikes. That was what I was doing basically.
Yeah, our old producer was the same way.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So I got dropped in the middle of South Korea, Seoul, the capital. So and I was just obviously, when I first got there, I didn't speak a lick of Korean. I mean, I learned basics like hello, and other than that, I mean, I got there, I didn't even know how to get to the bathroom. What is this, a boys or a girls? I don't know how to ask for it. So, I mean, it was interesting, obviously being there, and for someone that originally didn't like spicy food, it wasn't the ramen was a little spicy.
No,
you had to get used to
The
that.
ramen was a little hot, man.
Well, that's awesome. So other than that, the spicy food, but the food in general, I mean, that's like always my big question.
Amazing, man. There's actually like a small Korean town in Carrollton that me and my wife like to go over and you know, eat some of the basic stuff, and it's good, man. I still love it.
How's the food in Texas treated you? So coming from California here to Texas.
Yeah, the barbecue is amazing. I've been to a couple barbecue spots like Hard Eight and Hutchins, and they are phenomenal. I mean, obviously I love steak, so steak is a big thing for me, and I mean I love it. Steak
galore over here, right? I mean, plenty of steak to get your hands on.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about Whataburger?
Whataburger, you know, I might have to watch what I say.
Yeah, because you are a Cali guy. So do you fight for In-N-Out?
I'm gonna have to say it's neutral. I have to stay neutral here. I like In-N-Out, and I also like Whataburger. Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
Now you're a TikTok star, are you not? You're a TikTok superstar.
You know, I try. You know, something a little off. You know, on the side.
So did like you and like Claypool from Pittsburgh and Smith Schuster from Pittsburgh? Like, do you guys get together and discuss your TikToks and like, is there a TikTok sort of fraternity in the NFL?
You know, I haven't talked to either of them, but you know, obviously, it'll be cool. You know, obviously, but you know, it's interesting. There's a couple dudes on the team. You know, they're like, oh, you do TikTok? Like Dak for example, he was like, you know, he's like, wait, so you do TikTok, bro? Like, are you sure? Like, that's
he was frowning on you a little bit.
No, I mean that's TikToks.
No, it was more of the thing. Like, okay, so how much do you actually get paid? Like, you know, so on the side.
Is Dak thinking about?
I was like, trust me, Dak, you got enough money. You don't need to go TikTok.
But he
Let
would
me have
crush if he wanted to.
Yeah, man, he wouldn't even have to try.
So, were you thinking about maybe working out something with Dak? Get him on one of your TikToks?
I've tried. I got clowned because I tried to get Dak, Zeke, CD, and like Coop or something, but they don't want to be on TikTok.
Oh, come on.
They weren't. I bet Micah would, huh?
Micah's on TikTok.
Is he?
Yes, he is, but he doesn't post anything. He asked me in camp, like, hey, how does this look? Should I post this? Obviously, he wants the side income as well, but yeah, I mean,
he's just sitting there eating his Pizza Hut pizza, and he's just kind of doing his thing right now. Yeah, spicy something.
Nice.
Yeah. Walchuk says you got a hell of a voice. You got the best singing voice on the Dallas Cowboys, do you not? You can say that right here. Say it right now, Simi.
I don't know, man. We got to see some audio, hear some audio during camp, and I don't know. You definitely you can sing.
Yeah, so we had, as a rookie, we had to get forced to sing as well in front of the entire team and staff. So that was something that.
You're the best rookie far and away, correct? I mean, there's no fight in that. Who's competing with Simi Fehoko on the Dallas Cowboys for voice of the team?
You know, voice is I don't know, man. You gotta think of, you know, the rappers too that like to rap a little bit. Like,
I'm just going straight voice. I'm going straight voice here.
Boss man
just
fat.
Pipes. We're just talking pipes here.
Just pipes. You know, Osa Odigizua has got some pipes on him. Osa's got. Oh yeah, yep. He doesn't look like it, but he does.
I like it. All right, very good.
Yep,
so what was your song of choice when you got tasked with singing in front of the entire team?
I think I had to do it twice. They made me do it twice
because you were so damn good.
No, they just want to clown me a little extra. So, but no, I did Tennessee Whiskey. Yep,
that's a tough one
Chris
too.
Stapleton. Yep, that was that's a one that I mean obviously I had to do.
Classic.
And then Let Me Love You by Mario.
Ooh, that's another
classic.
A
great song.
Had to get the people going, like singing along with me. So
can we get a verse?
Oh, you know, I don't know if my voice is ready for all that.
No pressure, but I mean, hey, I think that the listeners would love.
This is gonna be great for your TikTok,
sample.
dude.
It's great for my TikTok.
This is gonna go straight to TikTok.
You got to be ready to perform at a moment's notice.
Okay. Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it for you guys. Which one do you want though?
Ooh,
I'll give you.
I think Tennessee Whiskey.
A little Tennessee Whiskey. It's just so sexy.
Okay. All right. I'll hit it. Used to spend my nights out at the bar room. Liquor was the only love I'd known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Yeah, you got the point. You got the point. You can sing with me. You got
with
the point, man.
The mic drop.
God, you are as smooth as Tennessee whiskey.
No, you are,
friend.
man.
Gosh dang it.
That was unbelievable.
I'm jealous of your wife, Simi. You can tell her I said that.
Woo!
Oh,
Simi
she's listening.
Fehoko.
She's listening. She definitely heard that.
She's a lucky woman.
Awesome.
I'm sure she's your better half as well. We have really enjoyed this, man. We're gonna have to have you on anytime that you're available. you holler at us. You have an open seat at
Yeah.
any time here on the Nosebleed seats.
Because generally when we have guests on the show, we end up referring to them for the rest of time as friends of the show. Are you comfortable with us saying friends of the
you
show?
You can even say best friends.
Besties of the show. I love it.
Yes. We did it. All right, we'll be over for Thanksgiving after the game next year.
Oh, absolutely.
We're bringing
Come on
Whataburger.
over. We'll bring Traegers and smoke some steaks.
Sounds like a plan to me. Simi, thank you so much, brother. And we're going to be pulling for you next year, man. Hopefully we can see you on the field a ton.
Thank you. I'm excited.
All righty, there you go. Simi Fehoko, wide receiver, Dallas Cowboys. Bobby Belt, top of the hour.
Oh,
But
your TikTok name. Where can people find you on TikTok?
Yeah. Shout out your TikTok.
I'm not even sure. Simi Fehoko, no space, I think.
Okay.
Perfect.
Just check that out on TikTok. I'm sure you'll find the right person.
We'll
The guy with the hair.
The guy with the sexy hair.
Yes. And the sexy boys.